Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. You're watching and thank you Sandeep. In this session today, uh, I'm going to talk about very important topic. Okay, and I think you guys already know this is the talk of the town right now for be it any profession, software engineers, um, DevOps engineers, cloud engineers, literally everyone actually thinking about. First of things that there are many sides of or the aspects of all this. We'll start about how it's affecting right now to us, and of course we'll discuss about what is generative AI, what are the tools that are getting used, or how as a DevOps engineer we can integrate the this GenAI implementation into our implementation or our day-to-day life. We'll talk about all that. But before that, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe the channel, or if you're LinkedIn, follow my profile. And if you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and ask me. I'll definitely answer. Okay. Let's see. And of course, when you're joining my live feed, I would like to request first thing that from where you're joining, like say any location you're joining, and if you have any question, also you can go ahead and ask. Okay. Let's get started. I will give around 2 to 3 minutes of buffering, because you know what happens that and many people actually get notified after 2 minutes, 3 minutes also. Just it happens. Okay, so let's hope that people get notified. And okay, I see. Okay, hey, nice to meet you too. So yeah, when you're joining, let me know from where you're joining, and of course, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask me. Okay. Let me in between check, because LinkedIn feed doesn't come into my this streaming softwares uh, that say comment section. Hey Shivam bhai, nice 3D. So yeah, the topic is actually generative AI, right? And I think this background reflect that very well. That's the reason. Okay. And anyway, it's just the starting time. I think people are just joining. So go ahead and ask any question that you might have. Okay, it's Akash. Okay, I want to start the channel. So how does it? Definitely, I will show that. Okay, not today, but I will show definitely. Hi Vijay. Okay, and let me open the LinkedIn, because LinkedIn message doesn't come here, so I have to check the mobile, and then like what's it? I have to say the question and answer. Okay, that's the reason. Okay, let me in between start the presentation. I'm just preparing the presentation. Give me a few minutes. Okay, then. Yeah, by time, yeah, ready to go. Yeah, Ashish, yeah, Anish. Okay, nice server room. Actually, this is a green screen. Okay, this is not like it's a night, different. I mean, it's my studio right now. I'm doing. It is not the home setup, so that yeah, you can say it's different. Okay, I have to do one thing. People get disturbed. Okay, let me quickly complete the setup. And you might sometimes see the different background, so it's fine. Let me quickly, okay, give me 1 minute. I have to adjust that properly. You see, I'm doing live setup. Don't worry about this. You might not even need this screen, but just being myself is good enough. Okay, I prepared the nice setup, to be honest, for today's session, so it's all good. We can just go ahead and get started. Okay, so the very first thing, I think most of you guys, right now, asking in your mind, or even sometimes, okay, as a DevOps engineer, we not that much supposed to learn about GenAI or data science, or maybe whatever you think of. We are not that material. Okay, if we would have that material, we could have become a, what do you say, uh, a machine learning engineer or data scientist, right? But no, we are DevOps engineers, isn't it? And we love like infrastructure, say automation. We love CI/CD pipeline. We love automating things, right? Now, that point of view, GenAI actually came and changed every, not just DevOps engineers. but every people life. Okay. uh, Positively and negatively. How positively? Because right, I mean, people before this particular era of GenAI, we suppose we are going googling about like any problem you face. You go to Google and search about the problem. Just go to Stack Overflow pages and pages, and then collect the answer. You experiment, and that's how we supposed to fix the issues because we are not born with those knowledge, isn't it? So that's how we do it, right? But now, with the help of this Gen AI application, because Chat GPT or say this Copilot or whatever the new things are there, you guys know better than me. Sometimes you are good at googling and using these tools. But what happened with this kind of tools? We become used to it. Okay, so we now suppose we want to generate a Kubernetes manifest, okay, for maybe some pod implementation or maybe a deployment or could be secret, whatever it is. Before we had to like maybe get a copy from somewhere because we might not know the syntax properly, maybe from available example codes of the Kubernetes or whatever it is. Now we don't do that. What do? We go to ChatGPT, and even if we don't know about it, we just so I just generate XYZ code or say pod or say deployment or whatever it is, secret or maybe something else, whatever is the requirement you have, that code, and the generative AI tool, for example, the Chat GPT will give you that code. Now that code is, I mean, they themselves also say that it's not 100% correct, but near to working. Okay, most cases also works, so that is fine. Now the thing is that how, I mean, is the solution or this tool know the solution? Actually, no, not. It have fed enough of the data, enough of the documentation, so that it can predict, but in another level. Okay, that is why we are coming to this Gen AI or generative AI. Okay, so what is this generative AI? So generative AI refers to a subset of artificial intelligence technologies that focus on generating new content. Okay, it's not like that you fed one AI algorithm 100 problem and it can solve that similar kind of. No, GenAI, of course, is an artificial intelligence tool, but it can generate new content. It can generate the new solution, even though it fed the some kind of mixed data or similar data, whatever data it fed. But generative AI, the specialty is it can generate the new content. Okay, that's why it became the talk of the town. That's why it adapted so good in various stages. Okay, now let's come back to the definition part. So yeah, technology that focus on generating new content, including text, images, videos, music, and other type of media or data. And this is similar to, but not exactly same as the original content that is trained on. So even though whatever the data you give it as a training data, the content generative AI tools in it are actually not the same. It's different. Okay, and we'll come to all this application and how we are utilizing that, all that just shortly. But let's complete with the definition. I intently keep it long because I want to explain that very well. Okay, now, unlike traditional AI models that are designed to analyze data, make prediction, or classify information, generative AI model can create new data instance that do not directly replicate the specific example that they are trained on, but rather reflect the underlying pattern, style, or rules learned from those examples. Okay. Now, I mean, think of as a normal AI application. Okay, AI. What used to happen that you have tons of data. Maybe for example, for our DevOps use case. Okay, for our DevOps use case, that we have, for example, logs. Okay, we are keep feeding the logs and logs and log, and we ask AI, okay, this 500 means error, this, and check the error reason. This 400 means the client issue that they're sending the wrong format, and somehow we train that. Okay, now suppose and we give the documentation and feed all that, right? AI can predict it, but generative AI can actually if any unknown error code comes that you normally didn't feed, but maybe in the documentation exists, or it can it have the capability to search internet and do that, they will automatically find out and can give the reason or maybe what could be causing and all that. Just a quick example, but there are even better example available in ChatGPT. You just ask it to, I need this and that. It's just out of the box in it, right? So that is what happened. And I will come to the ChatGPT also, or not just ChatGPT, but the GPT part shortly. Okay. So that's what happened in the generative AI. It can generate the new content that even it might not be trained on. It might be trained on specific data, but it can automatically create new data. Not automatically, but in the sense it has a data which relies upon that, but it can creatively create a new data. Right? Now, I will come to the few more details. Just listen to that. Now, I wanted to cover this part very specifically, right? The GenAI for DevOps engineer. So to understand, to be aware, to learn about the generative AI, you should like not just generative AI. I'm just saying as example, but to learn anything, you need to learn about the basic thing first. Okay. So of course, generative AI basic is actually learning about the AI modeling, mathematics, statistics, and all that. But I don't. I myself, or maybe even if you're like me, you are not that keen to learn about all this mathematics, all these kind of things, or maybe learn about building the data models and all that, or maybe work as a data scientist, because that's not our field. But we need to learn the basics. We need to help out the as a DevOps engineer, we have to facilitate the data engineers or data science engineers to run their training or run their instances, or maybe sometime help them debugging, right? So that is one kind of not I will say concern, but what are your responsibilities that falls upon if you are working in a company, or say maybe a company that doing this kind of AI development or generative AI solution they're developing. Okay, so that's the reason if you want a bigger package, you want a better opportunities, you also have to update yourself. And I think updating yourself is the only key. Now, I will not go to that GAN things, but let's focus on this understanding generative AI basics part. Okay, so if you want to learn about the generative AI, again, I'm not going like say you have to become a data scientist, or you have to become a AI engineer, machine learning. I'm not going to that, because I also don't have any let's say willingness to go to that deep. Okay, but it's good to know what are this, and if any AI. So it's a company you're applying for, say AI company, then they might go ahead, because you're applying for AI company or ML company. They might ask you this question. Now it's very rare, but they might ask you. Don't know. They will not tell you, right? Anyway, so to of course start with the GenAI. You have to first learn the GenAI basics. And what are the basic things you want to learn? First is the GPT. I'm not talking about the Chat GPT. Again, the Chat GPT developed using this GPT, but GPT is specific. Okay, so what are the GPT means? Okay, so GPT means the generative pre-trained transformer. Okay, and what are those? These are let me just come to that. Okay, uh, GPT is a type of artificial intelligence model known for its ability to generate human-like text based on input it receives. Okay, for example, you are saying Chat GPT or any GPT-based AI tool or chat tool. Let's say write me an essay on XYZ subject, or write me like list me the DevOps tools, and give it like say one line each for each title, similar kind of thing. So it will generate you the that particular content, right? So this is what we're talking about here. Now it trained on a wide variety of internet text, enabling it to respond queries and write essays, create content, even code. Of course, you are using the Chat GPT specifically generate the Kubernetes code, or maybe Python code, or Go code, Java code, what not. I mean, you think about any programming language, you can generate the code. But again, as a caution, it might not generate the 100% accurate code. There will be problem, there will be error, and you might need some time to fix that. But again, we're not talking about that purely right now. But predicting the next word in sequence, given the word that comes, even code by predicting the next word in the sequence. So even if you just the generate Python code, and you don't say anything, then it will give you a sample code. But if you say generate Python, then for example e-commerce, for example in particular, so based on whatever the input you provide, it will generate that particular code. Okay, then the GPT models, including the latest iteration, are renowned for for the deep understanding of the language nuances, their capacity to produce the coherent and contextually relevant text across diverse topics. Of course, because these GPTs actually are most cases large data models. Okay, so they are fit like I don't know GBs, TV, terabytes of data. I may not be going to the petabytes, but I don't know. But I, as far as I worked in my past experiences in working for some AI and ML company, they had anonymous data, and they fed to these AI models, and then they're doing the prediction and all that. Okay. Now there is the GPT, which is generative pre-trained transformer. They have fed enough data, and it can these models can predict better, and it can generate new content. Okay. Now the next one you should be also aware of is the delay. Okay. So what is delay? Now GPT is actually text based. It can give you only text data. Okay. Maybe code, text, like anything that is text based. Okay. Now delay on the other hand is an AI model developed to generate digital images from textual description. So for example, you ask delay specific models that generate me an AI that man man writing an essay, so, or a man doing a painting, and it will generate that one man doing some painting, that kind of stuff. Okay, so that just is example. Now it takes the user's textual input and turn it into a unique image that matches the description. Again, the thing that is generated might not be exactly what you're looking for, but you can keep asking this model, or what are the tools utilizing that is using the delay, or that is using this delay model. It will generate, and whatever is the final solution you choose, you'll just download it and use it. Okay. Now this includes anything from realistic photographs to imaginative or fantasy artwork, showcase a wide range of styles and subjects. Okay. Now this delay is particularly noted for its ability to understand and intercept creative, abstract, accept, blended animal in novellas to produce visually compelling images that align with the given prompt. Now, sometime when I'm given the prompt to this kind of models, I ask that a man having having a dinner, but it sometimes generated me of entire family in front, and then the man having this particular dinner with the food, okay, with the spoon. There will be problems, not exactly what you're looking for, but it at least generating the content which might be relevant, and you can keep asking to refine the things. Okay, that's why these two particular technology become huge hit. Okay, you see many products even like born out of these two things. Okay, even I think one particular example I remember still, I'm not just I'm using also, that is the this Canva image generator, or say ChatGPT image generator is a Canva image generator, Canva image selection tool. It works magically. Of course, it's using this kind of AI technologies behind the scene. I'm just giving some example, but there are enormous tools right now in the market available, and if you go to any YouTube, any just Google search normally, you will the entire list will have. Okay, it's not hard to get these days all these tools. Just one search is enough for you. Okay, so we talked about this basic two AI models, and there are many such available. I have one good friend who work in this AI tools. We work very closely, and he keep telling me use that, use this and that. I say okay, I'm gonna learn it, but it's gonna take me time. But he's actually working very heavily on it. So I asked him also, and I did my research also. What are the basic thing, basic skills you require to get started with the GenAI? Okay, if you want to actually start building the models and all such. Now, if you are saying I'm a DevOps engineer, I don't want to develop the model, it's actually fine. There is no like it's not like you have to do it anyway, but it's good to develop. Okay. Now, because market is competitive, right? Whatever you learn, it will be helpful to you. So, what are the things that is required to start with the GenAI? Again, if you are a DevOps engineer, you might not actually have to develop the models. Most cases, you will be integrating the models. You will be running. You will be helping the data science engineer or machine learning engineers to run their solution in the cloud or in the instances, and train the models. Those kind of things you do. But in case you are interested to learn about GenAI and you want to experiment with it, this is the point, or point two is for you. Okay, what are the languages will be helpful? The depend. I mean, you can learn about the Python or relevant. Now, I think Python and Go. Not, I will say Go is okay. Application development. Some places, only not just some. Only two companies I have seen as I work for. Only two companies I have seen they are into the AI and machine learning, all that, and using Golang. But most of the companies that I've seen, the primary language they are using the Python. Okay, and maybe the reason they're using Python is because the libraries, the code examples, the knowledge that is community available for Python is actually bigger than the Go. Again, Go is not a small community, by the way. Go language is an enormous community, but Python is a bit bigger. That's the reality. Okay, now the next thing is actually the point that many miss, including me. Okay, the data science fundamentals. Okay, again, I'm learning about the data science, but I'm not a data science guy. Again, if you want to become a GenAI or GenAI developer, then I also think, and I again talk with the many this machine learning engineers, AI engineers, and they also say, Sandeep, you need to learn about the data science fundamentals. Not just that, you need to learn about many things, how to process the data, how to like do intent analysis and whatever not. Okay, so just starting point, I would say start with the data science fundamentals, where I understand the basic concepts of data science, machine learning are beneficial, especially in that tuning the AI models or intercepting the inputs. Now, this is something could be good starting point, and I will highly suggest like there is Andrew NJ something big. I mean, most of the people who learn AI, they say that course, and I think Udemy and many other places you have enough courses, and more in YouTube also actually have free courses available. Okay, many places, so you can just start with something very basic and then keep doing it and see what you can achieve. And of course, there are paid courses in many places. Again, I will my personal suggestion, start with something free, maybe YouTube. You think more specialized knowledge needed, then go with a very cheap place like Udemy, 500, 600, maybe 1,000 rupees, and then process the things that you already learn, and then you see where you can kind of experiment with what you learn and practice, because otherwise you don't have much choice, right? Now, AI/ML tools and libraries. So familiarize yourself with the AI libraries like TensorFlow, PyTorch. TensorFlow actually I've seen getting used by many engineers in this phase, and PyTorch also getting used. Tools to facilitate the model training, evolution, and deployment. So these are the things you can utilize. Now, these are all if you want to develop your AI skills. If you want to develop the models, okay. Just okay. Now, I think that's fine. Now there are while developing the AI application, there are some that rules you should follow, like ethical consideration and responsible use. I think it's very important because of the the technologies that they're like deep fake and all that. The governments are also very active, so don't develop an application that might be get used as a wrong way. Don't do that. So these two rules: ethical consideration, this is understanding the ethical implication of using generative AI, including the biases in AI. And that is because sometimes not just when you're developing, you're never utilizing these GenAI tools, there will be like, don't just copy and paste use it, no, because the code you copy that not be 100% correct. In such cases, it might be a big problem if you're directly running, which you should not. But if you run the code in directly in the production, it will be the grave consequences. Okay, so don't do that. Responsible use, learn the best practices and of the AI use, ensure that your deployment respect user privacy data. So what happens basically in the ChatGPT, for example, what I've heard about that, the data you're inputting, they also getting utilized for the retraining of that data. I will not just only blame the this ChatGPT, but there are many tools where you are inputting, giving some input the data or supplying the data, and that is actually getting um, all this part, and they're utilizing the wrong way. Okay. Golang series, actually I edit it, but I thought of releasing a bit later. Maybe tomorrow I will release it. Okay. Today I wanted to have the live session, otherwise that don't get highlighted much. Okay, I think that's the third point. Fourth one is that integration with the DevOps practices. Okay, I think this is the important part you guys are waiting for. What are the utilization? Okay, I mean, there are actually many such utilization, but I just the top use cases I have just put it here. The first one is the automation with AI. So explore how the generative AI can automate the task within DevOps lifecycle, from code generation to automated testing and documentation. Now, I make it very simple, but it might not be that simple. You have to actually explore, you have to experiment, and then only find thing that is working for you. Okay, again, not everything for everyone. You see, there are of course paid solution, free solution, everything available. You see what are the um, kind of requirement that your company have, and then what are the tools is actually fulfilling those requirements. Just use that way. Okay, it's one thing is okay, one question is that is Golang development high demand in the DevOps area? Yes, but I will say there is two programming language. Okay, the Python and Go. Some companies utilize Python; they prefer Python, and some companies prefer Go. But if you give me a percentage wise, that I will say uh, even though Golang engineers get paid much more, but if you see the number of position or the demand wise, I would say 70% companies prefer the Python in terms of employability, and 30% of the companies prefer the Golang. Now, in terms of payment, the Golang engineers of course get paid more than the Python engineers. That's what I've seen so far. Okay. Now, let's come to the integration with the DevOps practices part. Now, the CI/CD pipeline enhancement. So, investigate ways to integrate AI tools into the CI/CD pipelines for improved efficiency and reliability. Now, I mean, what are these ways you're talking about? For example, you are running, okay, you are running, you're running CI/CD pipeline. Okay, some problem happen. Okay, what happens normally, you just forward that particular problem, it's maybe code line number something to the developer. What if you have a GenAI tool that fed the logs, the error line and all that, then it can propose the solution automatically. Just think about that, and that is possible. I've seen and people actually utilizing that. There are many tools available for that also, but I'm just telling you that is available. What you just have to do, you have to invoke some API with this third-party GenAI tools, the vendors, and give the line, the code file, or maybe the line, or maybe the function, whatever you have the problem, or nothing. Just give the entire error stack to the particular this generative AI vendor tool, and then they will give the solution also. And then what will happen, the engineer who got the notification of the CI/CD issue and checking it, and then code example got, it might take him less time to solve the problem, because already search happened, already issues, initial debugging, that AI tool already did that. Okay, and that actually given that result along with the issue description to the engineer or the developer. That will save some time, I guess, right? And this is just one small idea or small use case that I'm saying, but there are many such use cases, which is coming to this troubleshooting and root cause analysis. Okay, so generative AI tools harness historical data analysis, are poised to revolutionize the DevOps troubleshooting. This technology excel at identifying the underlying causes and swift reducing the downtime and expediting the issue. Now, what is saying that there, if your production having issues, okay, and it might take some time for the production issue to get resolved, but at that time, I mean, of course you should have some disaster recovery and all that, but it might take more time to actually root cause analysis by only one engineer. But with the help of this generative AI tools, you can root, like if you fed all the logs, entire log that you have, the code already is analyzed, it can automatically propose a solution, it can find the issues, it can like predict, even if you before you push the code to say production deployment, before that it can predict your code have issues, your this line can be better, or say this line can cause a memory leak, all these kind of issues they can predict. Or maybe of course after the problem happens, seeing that doing the log analysis, it can help you to do the root cause analysis. Okay, the fourth point is the infrastructure automation. Now generative AI heralds a pivotal shift in the DevOps by enabling the generation of infra as a code, and I will come to that in a very great depth, by the way. Now, like using this template, the natural language description, the groundbreaking capability not only accelerate the process but also ensures uniformity in infrastructure provision. Again, enough of the hard words. I will just say you what this means. It's saying that using this GenAI tool, you can, for example, that is, I mean, if you are new to this particular word called infra as a code, is that, for example, if you know about AWS, Azure, or GCP, at least I mean, as a DevOps engineer, you know any of all this. I'm assuming that. Okay, now you have an application, and this application to run on the say cloud or server, you need server first, right? And to have that server or that virtual machine, you have to go to any of the cloud provider, maybe it's AWS, Azure, GCP, or any other cloud service provider. But you have to go there, you have to manually create the instance or say compute or virtual machine, then you have to set up everything, then you have to set up the networking, then you have to set up the environment, and xyz step you have to do. What if we remove that requirement? What you can do, we can do infra as a code. So we write the infrastructure, we need servers, how many server, we need the load balancing, what is the configuration of the load balancing, we need the database, we need the storage, everything you do write as code, and from that you create the actual infrastructure or functional infrastructure. Okay, why the this kind of generative AI actually helping us with this IC? I myself and I know many engineers are actually to save time using this generative AI, specifically ChatGPT, to generate the entire. I mean, say not entire, honestly, but most of the code base we can generate. Okay, I can go to ChatGPT prompt and say generate a Terraform code where I have a AWS environment. I need one or two EC2 instances, or maybe one EC2 instances. I need auto scaling group where the mean and max you set the value. I need the security group. This XYZ port need to be open. I need the entire VPC setup for this particular instance or for the application. I maybe need Lambda function. I maybe need IDS, S3 bucket, and all that. So everything you mentioned, it will generate, and you just have to copy the code. And of course, in a sandbox or development environment, there you experiment. Now, it saves you enormous time searching for a particular resource type, searching for particular configuration, XYZ, and all that. Of course, I will highly suggest by yourself you should go and check the documentation. That is not something that is optional, but it will help you save time. If you read the documentation, if you know the basic, now you just want to get the or say deliver the task quickly. This can be a really helpful thing. Okay, and the final is the prompt driven workflow management. And I know many engineers, including myself, are using this. Okay, what is this? So this is a generative AI marks of pivotal transformation DevOps automation, useful in fully automated prompt driven workflow that translated text and imagination. Okay, that is there. What actually I mean by this? Okay, this is there, but what you can do, for example, you go to any say workflow and say for after XYZ the ABC, or say after ABC XYZ happen, or suppose after particular event this should trigger, this should happen. You write just the workflow or just give the input in the text tool, and behind the scene it will generate all the logics. It will generate, I mean, logics mainly, and even if it's required code, it will generate the code and pre-execute. You will maybe take a confirmation from you, you experiment with this, and you can add this event automatically. Okay, that is the thing that this is the hard worded generation, sorry, definition. But simplification is just simply that you can add the workflows just by the prompt. Say I need prompt, I say the prompt, you say one, I need XYZ, after this task happen on XYZ event, trigger this particular other event. So that kind of event triggeration or any workflow that you can think of, you can utilize many tools available. Just go Google. I will not take any names in the video. Now, there are many tools available which you can actually already working good on this. Okay, so I will again maybe another post I will dedicate it on that particular purely. Okay. Okay. Uh, okay. What is that from Rahul, from saying that Rahul from Delhi NCR? Sir, please drop some light on AI tools currently being used in DevOps. Actually, I had a particular video coming on that, so have some wait for that. Okay. Otherwise, if I say in this video, nobody gonna watch that one. But anyway, I will tell you. Okay. Okay, security and compliance. Yeah, two things while working with the AI, and I think not just many companies actually kind of not allowing you to use the Chat GPT or any this GenAI tools, because what happened, you are pasting your actual production code or actual company code into Chat GPT, and what happened, Chat GPT always taking that input, and they have their own kind of maybe manual reviewer, or doing that kind of development, and they have that access to the particular data, right? So what happened with that, you are not secure, you are exposing your logics to the particular whatever the GenAI tool you use, or any that kind of GenAI tool that you is doing for your work, that exposing you, right? So instead of that, companies are doing direct tie-ups and some policy contracts and all that, so that whatever data you supply customer, it could be customer data, by the way, it could be any kind of data, that should not get misused, right? So be aware, okay? This 2 point, just in as a warning, note it. Security, be aware of the security implication of integrating AI into a system, including the potential for introducing new vulnerabilities. Okay, so when you implement a new AI solution, it's not going to be perfect, picture perfect. You have to, you know, that you be aware that that can have some problem, it not be 100% accurate, and accept this. Even getting a 70% accuracy is good in many cases. I can guarantee that. Okay. Now, compliance. Ensure that your use of AI complies with the relevant regulations, standard, especially concerning the data protection and privacy. Okay, it is also very important. Now, collaboration and communication. Now, cross-functional team, of course, the context that I've given initially is that you might be applying for a AI company. You might, as a DevOps engineer, and you want to work for, like I did. Okay, I did work for one AI company, which actually is Chat GPT kind of application development, and one machine learning engineering company also in past, not so long ago. And I learned a lot from that. And as a DevOps engineer, I have to support them. Even I don't know what the health tool they are utilizing, but I have to support them. And if I don't support them, of course, I'll be out of job, right? So I, during my say more than 6 7 months, each company's stay, I had to support them with as much as I can. And like, not all companies requirement are same, like, entirely different. One company, it like you have this XYZ except 5 10 Kubernetes cluster, you run all the generative AI data model and test it, have the result data, analyze and all that. Okay, other company, it's that you have machine learning models, you just build them in the cloud environment. It has to be very fast. Previously, that is taking around 24 hours. My job was actually to reduce that build time and the processing time to 1 hour or less. I had to do it. Okay, so this kind of thing will come even though you are not an AI engineer, you are not a data science person, but you have to think of different ways to reduce the processing time, building time, the compute time, and all that. Okay, anyway, just work closely with the data scientists, AI engineers, and other stakeholders to leverage AI technologies efficiently. Then knowledge sharing, share the knowledge, best practices of using generative AI within your organization to foster the culture innovation. Okay, so these are the things I think I've covered. Okay, okay, I think this is the end. Okay, this is the only two topic. I mean, the point I was covering. Again, after this, I will take the QA. I will also talk about my experiences. I will take your question and all that. Just 2 points remaining. Let me go with that quickly. Okay. Um, the seventh point is the experimentation and learning. Okay. Now, okay, let's first understand. As a DevOps engineer, we are not treat or not trained with this utilizing of AI tools, and this generative AI particularly is actually very new to me and to use, right? So what you have to do, like anything, for example, when you started with our cloud journey, when you started with say Jenkins, Terraform, what did you do? We had to actually learn things, we had to actually code things, and we had to kind of apply or say run the application, and then only we started to understand the things, isn't it? Same thing here also. You develop small scale application to experiment with the generative AI tools or technologies or models, and by doing that you get your hands on, you learn all this thing, and you go to production environment. Okay, not just direct jump, and nobody will give you job that way anyway. But as a DevOps engineer, will get chances. Okay, I I'm not used. I'm really getting the chances to actually work along with these AI engineers, DevOps, not say ML engineers, and help with their day-to-day work, giving the infra, setting up the things, helping in the execution and all that, the data collection. So that also I'm learning from them. Okay, and also behind the scene I'm also doing some small development application, some prediction based application. Okay, and that is helping me to understand all this complicated. Again, I'm not 100% saying that I understand everything, because I'm a DevOps engineer. To me, learning something new like this AI and all this stuff is going to be challenging, but for my profession I have to do it. Okay, if I want to excel in my current profession, right? Now the second thing is learn from the failures, and that is the very important part, that be prepared to learn outcome, experiment it, like, understand that both success and failure are the defined approach. So of course when you first try to do anything, it will fail, and if I normally what happen, if something I'm trying for the first time, it don't feel I question like am I doing something terribly wrong? Why it's working the first try? To be honest, so I myself experience that the first time it will fail. I will try to tweak it. I will somehow make it work. It might take time. Okay, and again, you're not working on the payment basis for the direct line, right? So you have the leverage to keep experimenting till it work. Okay, now when you're accepting client work, then you have to deliver in the agreed timeline, right? That will be a very pressure on you. Anyway, but experiment, experiment. That is the only way to learn things. Okay. Then tools and resources. So use online platform, leverage online platform and communities. And of course, there are many courses available. You just go ahead and again, if you ask me, I will say YouTube. There are many courses, content available. Go to Udemy, Pluralsight, and many other such courses available all over the training platform. Go with something cheaper. If you are a student, if you are just getting started, and if you have a medium level experiment, you have some basic understanding, then go for the payment courses. Okay? That what I can say to you. Now the nice time about accepting the question. I think many was actually looking for how I'm okay. So yeah, keep asking the question. I think in LinkedIn, so many questions added by now. I didn't even check to be honest. So I'll go ahead and check the LinkedIn question also and the YouTube question. Okay. Okay, not much question on LinkedIn. It's fine. Let me then answer the YouTube question. If you think the background the screen is actually too much, let me know. I will shut it off. Uh, but anyway, okay. Anyway, let's see. Mm, okay, it's a question here, and I'm going to put it on top. That hello Sandeep, hello sir. After 35 reaction for the DevOps role, 2 years plus experience in DevOps, I'm thinking about starting freelancing. Please, right, how to start beginning freelancing journey. Okay, so freelancing, you need of course a initial portfolio. Say you already have 2 year experience, right? So you work on some projects, have the portfolio ready, go to different freelancing website and give like build it and give interviews. If you keep doing it, okay, and 35 rejection, of course that's a big thing. But even when I when initially started the freelancing, I given more than 60 70. I don't even count, okay, freelancing part. For job, I think I tried 40 49. I got one or two opportunities, but freelancing, it was so tough for me. Okay, so it might take time, it will be challenging, but once you get a first client, you work good for them, then they will recommend you to other people, and of course you will be sharing that particular experience, getting the feedback and sharing the feedback with others, and you will get more client like that. Okay, that's the starting point. Thank you, Vijay. Hey, Vasu. Okay, let's see. Hmm, let's see any other question. Voting for, okay, waiting for the Google Cloud platform for course. Okay, now Google Cloud course I'm not planned yet, to be honest, but we'll see. Okay, let's see. The GenAI blockchain to see what where actually we auditing. Yeah, see, these tools are actually software, right? So this itself we're doing the software development. For example, any blockchain or any GenAI tool you're developing, that is it's still a development, right? Now, if you think about the utilization phase, uh, of course, there are many. I mean, see, ChatGPT is a fine example. Then ChatGPT itself have a delay, right? There is a fine example. How can you generate the images? Like nobody can, copyright that particular image that you're generating. It's unique image, right? That is one thing. Then, for example, all this video, like I think one of the job that is currently under the greatest greatest fear, okay, is the video generation. I think there is some soda or something, what do you call it? The new model that is ChatGPT, the OpenAI coming. I mean, it's mind blowing. They are generating a video out of just maybe enter some prompt and all that. So video it is like हमारा क्या होगा? What will happen with them? That phase is coming. Okay, and not just that. Even say even if you're say having a video, right? When I had developed one sample application. Which can do text to this automatically like sorry video to subtitle text, and then before I okay that's not had a accuracy level of 70%, it's around 30 to 40%. But then I saw, okay, AI tools are there which can, go to frame by frame, collect the audio, then exactly the time frame where you need whatever text was there, they are automatically doing that with the help of these generative AI tools. So they like, for example, you as a human being, you have to go to one particular time frame to another time frame in a video to see what they say and then text it. Okay, this generative AI tool can do that, of course, very faster. They'll quickly go through the video and then do the exact same thing. Like instead of human doing this, they write down all the text exactly in the time frame that it's supposed to be. That kind of thing is there. And see, image generation, video generation, predicting other things, say detecting the text from the image, videos or images. This just finds that high, right? Because of this, using these GenAI tools, or not just GenAI, say any machine learning tools, the traffic cameras can quickly detect the particular our what is this, the vehicle number, and finding us, right? So one, that is a simple examples, right? Now, let's see. Hi Sandeep, how to join DevOps career? How to start join DevOps career? Even I have 10. So Gaurav, let me know what experience you have. With software development, it's actually easy. You know the SDLC, the workflow and everything, the basic stuff. Then there are some tools, some skills that you need to learn. SQL scripting. Then if you know programming is good. Then cloud part, maybe AWS, Azure, GCP, whatever is preferred. Then the infrastructure automation, the configuration management via these tools, all these things. Then of course the monitoring is there. System level development, Linux, I think I missed at the beginning. The Linux and other, say Windows, and the debugging and troubleshooting is there. So these things are required. I have actually, if you go to my LinkedIn profile, there in the under the article section, they have given the very clear, very straightforward roadmap how to become a DevOps engineer. You can follow that one. Okay. Okay, Ashish, as the DevOps engineer, do we need to do system? Actually, even though that is not a core responsibilities, but I do. Okay, as head of the DevOps for a few companies, I had to kind of do the system design, then talk with the other architects, and then we do, debate on that, and then finally come with the solution. So yes, as a DevOps engineer, I had to do it at least. So I will suggest, because system designing is good to have knowledge. Okay, wherever you're DevOps engineer, not you're in the other software development phase, anywhere, knowing how to design the system and have the architecture, have the ability to draw the architecture, or maybe use any tools to have the architecture, that is very good skill to have. Okay. Now, what is the question from? Actually, we need to exactly understand the requirement. If we need to generate, I mean, see, it's a good question in a way that the generation itself are utilizing. Say you are working on a task A, and you are a person, and another person who is maybe working a similar task on that. Okay, you don't use the generative AI tools, you just keep working on that, and somehow you deliver that on the 1 week. Okay, then other guy who is working exactly kind of similar task, and with the help of these Gen AI tools and all that, can deliver the work faster than you, maybe 1 day 2 day. Then people, what happened, that they will ask you to leave. That's the reality of these days, and that's what happening. You see the layoffs happening because most of the companies automating their workflows, automating their works, and they don't need that mind. So especially the customer support. Okay, what happening previously was user used to talk with the customer support, let them know the issues, and then get a resolution. Now they have the chat agents with this kind of generative AI capabilities, even though they're not trained with a particular words, a particular intention. Because of this generative AI, they can generate the new content, new answers, and all that. They're able to solve so many problems, and right, and that's the reason this the massive layoff happening for all these customer support executives, right? So this is true. You need to learn so that you can deliver fast. Now from Delhi, sir, please drop some. I will say, okay, I have a video coming, so just wait for that. Not too long wait, okay. How to overcome the fear of not getting client. Initially, okay, I will talk about this topic very very depth. Okay, what happened? So when I started freelancing, I didn't have the family like my daughter, my wife. No, not anything like that. I was single guy. Okay, I had no that kind of risks. Okay, what happened if I don't get client? What happened? I don't know because I didn't have this kind of either financial responsibilities or any kind of responsibilities that tough. Okay, so I had no fear that time. So I keep working on, I keep trying, and I got the clients. I work for the client, and client numbers keep getting added. Now I'm in a state if I'm working with say 2 3 clients. If any of them leave, I have clients already in the back who already know. I mean, I work with them. They know me very well. I know them very well. They will definitely have some projects I can jump in. If I don't able to find a project by myself within say 1 or 2 months, so I have that backup plans. I don't have the fear anymore, right? But if you're starting new, just 1 or 2 years when you started, you don't have that much clients, and suddenly something happened that is fearful. And if you have a family, you have bills to pay, that'll be a big problem, right? So that thing you have to actually consider. Now let's see. Let's change the background. It's affecting my eye, unfortunately. Just a moment. See, this kind of tools are so great. Let's change the background something like this. No, this is pure white. Modern house. This looks good, right? White background and all that. Okay. Next, go to the next question. Yeah, I think I was talking about the fear part. So yeah, just fear will happen. That's very natural to have. If you get like if you keep working on many clients, if you have a client base of say 4 or 5 clients, it will go away. But till that, of course, we'll have fear. And when you have family and all that, there are always chance of not able to get the client on time. So for that, you should have enough savings. Usually, I keep saving of next 2 to 3 years, so I don't have that kind of fear. To be honest, I never had in the beginning because I didn't have the family that time. Now I'm a father of one cute little child, and I have, of course, family, my wife, and all that. So that is kind of a point. But I don't have that much fear because I have client base. I have enough savings, so I should not be in that kind of trouble. Okay. Now, okay, Sandeep. Can you stop animation? Yeah. I also got bad, so I stopped that one. Yes. Okay, let me see if you have any question. Otherwise, I think already 1 hour, right? So let's see. I will see in LinkedIn if any questions. Otherwise, I think we're all good to go. No questions so far. I think yeah, it's quite everyone enjoying the weekend. Good. Okay, so I think as a kind of how to tell it, as a kind of uh, conclusion, we can say that as a DevOps engineer or any engineer, to be honest, it's important to stay with the market, to know what's happening, to learn how to utilize these tools. And there are many prompt engineering courses available. You can start if you want to just learn how to use the tools. You can go with the prompt engineering courses and all this available. So how can you optimize or you can make the questions proper, that kind of thing. If you want to build this kind of GenAI tools, start with something very specific, very basic. Of course, learn about this GPT models or the basic AI models at the beginning, because you might not be that good at developing models, right? But at least start with how to have the basic model and start develop the application, and then how to develop such model. That flow should be there. Okay. Um, so it's from Nakul sir. How much time required to get a job as a cloud engineers and roadmap? Okay, so if you are talking about a fresher cloud engineer, you need at least basic like me. You need of course the CS background or any tech background. Even if you're not of that, the times get increased because you have to understand the very basics at the beginning, right? So I will say if you are from a computer science background, you need 2 to 3 months. If you are from a non-CS background, you need maybe 5 6 months. Again, it's on the individual capabilities, not a collective average, I'm saying. But what I've seen so far, that I'm giving answer from my experience. But if you are very good at it, you may just learn within a few months, 1 or 2 months or 3 months, right? But if you're not just starting, you just have the basic idea or no idea at all, it might take some time. Anyway, the experienced cloud engineer, it takes years to get that level. For the basic level, I think you will have it. Okay, basic programming language, the system, Linux and Windows. That's the two major OS, right? Then other than that, there is cloud. Particularly, you have to, of course, whatever cloud, because you're a cloud engineer, right? So you know what, at least one cloud. Many multi-cloud will be even better, but at least one cloud you have to actually master. Be it AWS, as well as GCP, whatever you choose, one master, and you learn about other clouds and tools. Then serverless technologies, containerization a bit, because you might have to run those kind of applications. So mainly, as a cloud engineer, you will be handling the customer issues, you will be handling the system issues, you will be handling the root cause analysis, you will be handling the server cloud resources, you will be doing some form of the cloud based application development, right? So you need all the knowledge beforehand if you want to get to that point. Okay. Okay, see, I think not much question today. Like, it's good for me because I don't have to answer too much in that case. Okay, so thank you everyone for staying this long and asking. I mean, it's not low question as well. I think so many questions, so which is good. I just making sure um, I'm not missing any question. I think I'm good to go. Not, I'm not missing any question. Okay, so thanks for staying this long. So I think around 1 hour video, right? So thanks for staying this long. And if you have any question, you can go ahead and ask in the comment section. I will definitely answer that. Okay. So thank you for staying and see you in my next session. Okay. Bye.